Okay, so I grew up in the 1990s, and I was born in 1990. I'm 30 years old, so I remember. If you remember Brandy Norwood, you remember that in the late 90s, like 1998, 1999, Brandy Norwood was one of the highest, was one of the most successful rappers of all. I mean, not rappers, but R&B singers of all time. She did not rap. She's not a rapper, but she's a pop star. Dark skinned, skinny, kind of attractive. All the guys liked her. White guys, black guys, all guys wanted to be with her. She had competition. She had TLC and stuff like that. She had a couple. She had some competition. Little Kim, but she was a good pop star. She did not sing. She was not hoochie mama. She was in ghetto. Now her problems was being dark skinned. That was her biggest problem, and her biggest problem was her weight. Her weight and it was her weight and her skin color. Now she was dark skinned, and also when she was 15, somebody said she wasn't pretty. She lost a movie role to a woman, another woman who was light skinned, and that kind of hurt her self esteem a little bit. So she for even now she has self insecurity about her skin color. You know, she grew up to be despite her skin being dark skinned, she grew up to be very successful, making millions, be doing her own TV show, making movies, making her own pop, doing her R&B music. Have you ever was I remember that song, boy, that was the saddest song I've ever heard in my life. Have you ever? I used to sit there and watch it on BT all the time. I said, whoa, this is very sad. That teenage girls go through this. Usually being in love with somebody, or usually a guy dumps you for another woman. So a lot of girls can relate to being dumped, and that's girls hate rejection. So I guess that I don't know what it meant. I guess it meant she was in love with a boy and he maybe dumped her for another girl. Also, the boy is mine, where Brandy and Monica. See, Brandy was dark skinned, Monica was light skinned. They did music together in the late 90s, 98, I think around 1998. And basically, the song is about colorism. That's where I see it. So you got a dark skinned girl fighting over a boy, the light skinned girl fighting over a boy. Now, who is he gonna choose? Sad to say it, but in the black community, most of the time, the black boy is gonna probably try to date both girls. He's gonna see if but he's gonna cling more to the light skinned girl. So I guess that's what the music really is about. The boy is mine. I remember watching that song back in 19. I was only 7, 8 years old, but I know how I could relate. I understood how girls do get girls do fight over boys. They call it cat fight. Yeah, I remember in school seeing two girls fighting over a guy. I mean, they were really punching each other out over a guy who's probably cheating on the both of them. But the boy's mind was a good song, and there was also they said they didn't like each other. Brandy and Monica. Brandy was jealous of Monica because she was light skinned. Monica was jealous of Brandy because she was dark skinned. They both had their jealousy things. They just didn't like each other. Like most teenage girls argue over boys. Other girls do fight over boys. It's crazy, but it does happen. And very rare. Most of the time it's guys fighting over women, but you don't really see women fighting over guys too much. But this was back in the 1990s. But that was a good song. Boy, BET played that song so much. They played it every day back in the 1990s, man. They overplayed it. I think they did a concert, and then they ended up fighting each other after they did a concert where they sung "The Boy Is Mine," and then they started fighting each other. That was a rumor that they just didn't like each other. They would throw insults at each other. That was pretty much it. But the boy is mine is pretty much a colorism. We all know he's going to choose a light skinned woman over the dark skinned woman because most black guys do say that they prefer light skinned women over dark skinned women. So I feel like the song "The Boy Is Mine" is a color song. The dark skinned girl is fighting for her boyfriend, but she knows she could lose her. She says she has to compete with the light skinned girl. So that's what I felt. This is J. Peace.